Hello everybody. How are you diddling? We're here. We're live on Wednesday. Hooray! We managed it. And it's going to be a really, really boring stream. Well, it's not really, but we're going to be building horses, basically. Because we have a plan. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a plan to do a silly video, which I think will provide quite a bit of usefulness to those of you out there who collect models from fantasy ranges. But we're going to be building some horses because we're going to do a video that is literally just how to paint horses. I'm going to come up with a whole bunch of different recipes for them. We're even going to hit some of them with different primers, just because we can. That's what we're doing. So I'm just currently collating the horses that we've already got built, because we have some. I have a box here with some horses, and we shall discover how many more need to be built. And there's a bag of bases. We'll need those. We have a horse. Yes. Horse. Horse. We have a horse. And we have another horse. And another horse. So much horse. Oh, hang on. Five. 6. Okay, we're good. We're good. We are good to go on the horse front. So, what we have is 6 there. We do have some Riders of Rohan as well that we could also possibly build. But if I go to this camera here, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horses there. We have 6, 7, and 8 horses there. We then have a horse that needs a base. That's horse number 9. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's horse number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that is horse number 9. We have horse number 9. We have a block of 6 here. 6 horses there to take us up to 15 horses. And then we should have 5 more horses somewhere to do some things and some stuff. Hold the phone. Everybody stop everything. Because the worst painter here, who is not the worst painter here, he's actually a very, very good painter, has dropped 50 gifted memberships. Straight out the gate. Having achieved nothing and being told it was a boring stream. He's gone and dropped 50 games. Bro, what are you playing at? That is exceptionally generous. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's very, very kind. I ain't your buddy guy. Well, I ain't your guy, friend. So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing tonight. So we're going to assemble some horses. Because I want to do at least like 10 10 horse schemes in one video. It's going to be an ultimate contrast plus guide to horses. And this is how we get another video out of Riders of Rohan, basically. Because it doesn't feel like it's a good video to do just like 9 Royal Guard and we've got 9 horses, you know. Hello, Mr. Grotkin. Warhipster is the hero because he is the one doing the work. I just pester him about it. You do. You are the grand pest, as it were. But it is very much appreciated because it does encourage me to do the thing that I actually really just enjoy doing, which is Middle-earth strategy battle games. Otherwise, we'd be sat here right now. It's a case of it's the inspiration to do the thing that I really want to do, rather than being sat here being like, I guess we're painting another Space Marine. Do you know what I mean? And I wholeheartedly believe that there's a lot of people out there who should return to their MESBG roots, can make MESBG the titan of tabletop wargaming that it once was. And that would be better for everybody involved. Because you know what would happen then? You could be painting Stormcast. Yeah, well that would be even worse. But hey, we're playing some Reclusians today, and everyone would be like, cool, no one cares. At least with Space Marines, people care. You're painting up some truly gorgeous Stormcast, James. If you haven't already, guys, go and check out the Artistic Outlaw. Are you James Matthias, or are you Artistic Outlaw on Instagram? I can never remember. Because he's painting up some incredible artistic work on the Stormcast Eternals. James Matthias 13. There you go. James Matthias 13. If you haven't already, go and check James out, because he is doing Sigmar's will at the moment. He's painting up some beautiful Stormcast Eternals, and I've been very much enjoying watching the process come together. If you were to paint Treebeard again, what would you change to your video? About to start one. I wouldn't change a thing, because I think that's a really good video. Been following all your tutorials for Wild Eaters and Corn Demons. That's wonderful to hear, Scott Leatherbarrow. Thank you very much. Man, I'm so upset. My Seraphon Astrolith Bearer's banner snapped right before I finished painting it and can't glue it back together. Oh, that sucks. You might have to pin that one. Did you grab the horses from the Minas Knights? Actually, I don't need to, because, funny story, the Minas Knights don't do a very good job of just sitting on the horses. And as a consequence of that, I, in my infinite wisdom, decided to glue the Minas Knights onto the horses. And what I would much rather happen with this video is that you are just seeing horses. I don't want to confuse anybody. But I shouldn't need them, because I think we can probably get I'm gonna shoot for like 20 different horses in one video, and I think I've got that. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 here. There's another 3 down there. There's 20. Yeah, we're all good. We've got all the horses we could ever need. Have you considered doing any old world? I'd like a simple tutorial from my wood elves. I've done a little bit of old world here and there. I haven't gotten around to wood elves. I really wanted to do the wood elves, but I didn't pick up the battalion box in the end because money, time, and space are all issues that I have to frequently contend with. So it's not. It's a. Yeah, we will get to doing some wood elves at some point, but I don't know when. Paint a horse like a stormcast. No. No, I will not. Thank you so much for the kind words. It means a great deal. I can't even tell you how much your approval means. Nah, my approval shouldn't mean anything. Only my appreciation. And I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. It's very kind of you for giving up your evenings to spend some time listening to a contrast painter talk about how he's going to build and paint some horses. That's lovely. Thank you very much. But this should hopefully mean that once we have all these horses done, that whilst we'll still continue to paint horses in the videos, if say, you know, something on a horse comes out, and you know, say they do like a battle wizard or something on a horse, I don't know, that we can still paint said horse, but you should now have a really good resource to fall back on should you need it. Are you changing your recipe for the horses, or are you sticking to the recipe that you did for your Riders of Rohan? They'll be in there. I'm sure they'll be in there. There will also be some other ones. It's kind of just more so than anything, what I want to do is I want to collate all the horses that we've done, which, you know, is a project in and of itself. But once we've done that, once we've got all of our horse recipes that we've already done in one place, we can then also do some others that are a little bit more interesting, maybe a little bit more easier to do. I just always forget how much of a pain in the ass these are to build. Haven't you already done a contrast how to paint different type of horses video, or am I imagining things? You sort of, because we've done Riders of Rohan, we've done Cavaliers, we've done various horses already on the channel, but those aren't specifically how do you paint horses. So I feel like a video that is specifically how do you paint horses is something that I think would be a good addition to the YouTube content space. And if YouTube doesn't agree, you can go. Does Kragnos count as a horse colour scheme? He could. He could count as a horse colour scheme. Sabertooth Sheep, thank you very much for becoming a member. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. There is 1, 2, 3. That's a satisfying number, isn't it? However, I should do this really. If you guys are gonna be super generous tonight, we should really have a goal to shoot for, you know. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter what horse these guys came from. They're not horse locked. But we do have our built metal models, and we have some plastic ones also built and ready to go. So we've got some Riders of Rohan. They are here. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because you don't need another Riders of Rohan video. You see, we've already done one. But like I've got 12 of the buggers to paint, and I've got to try and figure out how to use it. You know, everything is content. Content is king. Content for days. All that good stuff. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some of these horses need repriming. That's 9 horses. Oh my goodness me. Worst painter here with another 50 gifted memberships. What are you doing? What are you doing, sir? Oh, this is unbelievably kind of you. Thank you so much. Let's go over here. No, over here. I'll just be really small for a moment. No reason. No reason at all. Cold saw, 1 shot, 1 kill. Lick that like button, people, says Captain Mannerings. I could not agree more. Our target, as always, is to get to 50 likes on a stream, because that's the free way to support. That's the free way to support the channel. Because if you like the stream, then more people find the stream, and if more people find the stream, they come and watch the stream. And if more people watch the stream and they see what a charismatic, lovely guy I am, then maybe they hit the subscribe button. Oh dear. Currently stuck offshore, so can't paint, and this will probably eat all my Wi-Fi allowance, so won't stay too long. Oh, that's very kind of you, Niall. What are you doing offshore? Are you working? I just received a gift of membership. Many thanks. Warhipster have been loving your grey water fastness tutorials. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Where's my clippers gone? Ah, they're here. Found them. Mystery solved. Captain Mannerings has been a member for 28 months. Says, get 69 likes, you bunch of heathens. He's not wrong. We always say 50, that's the first goal, but 69 is the real goal. It's advice for life. Oh dear. What are you doing to me tonight, chat? You make your own fun, eh? Watching a guy build some horses sounds dull. Josh, I don't want to paint Frecker, so I think hill tribes may get pushed out of my MESBG rotation. Got 12 warriors, Targ and Wolf. I mean, that's a pretty significant chunk of them. What is it about Frecker that's giving you a block? What is it you don't like about him? Maybe I can help. Are some of those dudes metal with plastic horses, asked James, while celebrating his 21 months of membership? Yes, yes they are. The Rohan Royal Guard are metal men with plastic horses. It was a fairly common thing with MESBG. And sometimes, depending on the kit, or depending on the type of horse, it means you're okay. It means you're all good. However, with the Rohan horses in particular, they have two poses. pose 1 is this one, where he's like that. And pose 2 is that one, where it's like that. And putting a metal model on this guy takes a lot of super glue and a lot of trust. Super glue and faith in the Emperor. Exactly. Exactly. Josh has to make a subscriber-only MESBG tournament. Oh. Well, that would be a thing, wouldn't it? That would be just the ticket. No game score included. Only favourite game votes. The tournament based entirely around soft scores. Meaning everyone's just trying their best to lose. Now that is an event I would attend. Oh, nobody likes losing, so I'll try my best to lose so that they feel really strong. Oh, I want to get that favourite game vote. I'll try to lose. Contrast plus Smaug tutorial. We will get to it eventually. Eventually. We have a Smaug. He's here. He's not built. Nor is he clean. He needs a good bath. Good building. That's what he needs. The actually 3, you can combine the two sides. Didn't know till years later. Oh, yeah. I think you told me that last time, Ricky Drinks Paints. Last time we were building... When we built some Rohan Royal Guard a long time ago. Because whilst I might make the occasional MESBG video, and you know, trying to make more, as the worst painter here has said, I will help Josh fund that tournament when he has more MESBG videos than another channel who only does MESBG. I might make the odd painting video here and then, but the true knowledge in here comes from you guys. It comes from Ricky. It comes from worst painter here. It comes from Adam, and it comes from Mr. Gwatkin. They're the ones who know a lot more about this stuff than I do. MESBG. I know more about Age of Sigmar. I got MESBG, Horus, Heresy, and Necromunda recently. Good man. Well, we just got to get you playing a game. Yeah. Thing is, I don't think any of you are ready for my tactical brilliance. You know, and I don't want to ruin your vibe, you know, by coming in there and just being like, "Yo, the pros are here now." Oh, what the hell I'm talking about? Especially to you, Rich. Though I am fairly sure you and I have never played a game. Ever. Not once. You've either been in charge of the whole thing, Hello, Kira. Good evening, Vink. How was your 40 current? I didn't go. My doubles partner wasn't very well, so we couldn't go in the end. Which was a bit of a shame, but there we go. So I stayed at home and I worked instead because I have unhealthy habits. I've just gotta get all the work done, you know. Gotta get all those videos out. I have to make the people happy. Please never leave. Why won't this one go together? What's wrong with you? This is really annoying. Haha, got ya. You wouldn't stay parted for too long. Worst painter here with a $100 super chat. Realise gifted subs don't give chat XP for some reason. Oh, YouTube never knows what it's doing when it introduces these new features. It will then inevitably eventually give it. Goonhammer Open would have been one of the few events where we could have played against each other. That's true, we could have played each other. But you're better at the game than me, so you were on the higher tables. Rue the day. This is where we'll get you. You'll go to your very first ever Age of Sigmar tournament, and with me, and it will be like, alright, first up, Josh and Rich. It's like, oh damn it! I took such a big game 8 months ago. Now I've got to put my money where my mouth is. Oh dear. Thank you very much, though, Worst Painter here, for the $100 super chat. That is incredibly generous of you. You've been very generous tonight. After the tournament, the prize for the most contrast plus painted force. Presumably that would be mine. Presumably. So therefore I'm not allowed to enter that prize, because I can't just give myself prizes at an event that I'm hosting. That is corruption. Hello, Mini Painting Dad. Metal minis. Well, that's the price you pay for Lord of the Rings. Metal and fine cast minis are plenty. Hello, GameX. Connor says, I've become obsessed with your videos. I only build armies if you've got a video for them. Well, that's very kind, but I'm sorry if I ever let you down. I inevitably will. Barry has hit 100 followers. Congratulations, Chris. Or, sorry, congratulations, Barry. Let's be clear, 2 out of 4 of the tutorials I'm hounding you for are decent plastic kits. Is that the Palace Guard and the Rangers? I just finished Vordry's Dragon as per your guidance. Looking great. Thank you so much. Oh, you're very welcome, Bradley. Did you enjoy it? Did you find the video useful? Good evening, Sean. The rule of hip, that is only building armies. Josh has a video for. No! Don't live that way! Live your best hobby lives, however you wish to live them. I said nothing of the sort, worst paid to hear. Is there something similar to Berserker Bloodshade? Not really. Do you need a pot of Berserker Bloodshade? I finished Typhus following your video today, Josh. Probably the best thing I have ever painted. Thanks for the wonderful video. Plus, if you've noticed a recent spike on that video, then it's all me. Well, that's cool. Right, we are up to 10 whole horses. Do we have enough riders for all of them? That's the question. I don't think we do. We need to build one more horse, and we'll have enough riders for all of the horses that we've got built. It's exciting. This is where we're at. You can't see this one. There's one here. Now you can see him. Ten horses. Brekkie of the Gilded Key. Have you painted him, Warhipster? I haven't, but I do have him. So let's build this horse. I don't appear to have a 40mm round base for it though. We're gonna have to go base bin diving. I have a box just for such an occasion. I believe this is it. It is. Hooray! Here is my box of bases. Check that out. It's pretty cool. I'm thinking about doing the Paladors. Can you leave the riders off, or are they sculpted in? Which ones? Because Stormstrike Paladors we definitely sprue reviewed. So it'll be there somewhere, like Stormcast. It'll be something called Stormcast Wave 2 or something. Excuse me, something like that. Aha. No, not you. You. A question from a noob. Can I paint some elements of my mini with contrast and others with regular acrylics? Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. You can do whatever you like. There's no rules. Yeah, no, you don't have to be locked into. You don't have to be locked into my system. You don't have to be locked into someone else's system. You can take bits and pieces from everybody. The only advice I will give you, on that front, is just always, like every so often, just look at what your process is for something, and just see if you can do it quicker. And get the same result, because that's a thing that I think a lot of painters, a lot of hobbyists and stuff fall into. For example, because we go through the community kind of goes through trends of things, and then if you end up following all the trends, you end up doing all the trends. You end up doing it on every model, and then it becomes tedious. To the point of where you end up being like, this is really boring and it's so complicated and my scheme is really hard. That is the only bit of advice I would give. As an example, it would be if you were doing, say, the best example I can give is Custodes. Say you were doing Custodes, and you realised that what you were doing when you were doing Custodes is you were priming them with gold, for example, and then you were spending a lot of time doing the base, rebasing things with Wraithbone in order to get it contrast ready to then contrast paint them. I would suggest that in that situation, that time would have been much better spent just using regular acrylics to do the contrast bits, or priming them with Wraithbone in the first place and painting the gold in, which is what I do. So like in a majority metallic scheme, even if it's something like a Necron, for example, where they're mostly silver, I'm still going to prime it with Grayseer, because I'd rather paint in the really big, easy colour, like the silver or like the gold, for example, because it's on everything and it's everywhere. I'd rather paint that in than fumble around doing multiple thin coats of Wraithbone over a belt. See what I mean? Instead, I can just have the belt already contrastified, and then I can just go in and just go whoop, Cygor Brown, it's done. You see what I mean? That is an example. That's the reason why I do something that way. That being said, there are some occasions where there's no point to contrast paint things. It might be that you want to do like a Adeptus Sororitas thing, like we want to do it with like black tanks. I would argue that painting those in with Black Legion is a waste of Black Legion, when you could probably just prime them black and save yourself some time and effort. That's the only bit of kind of, I would say, hard and fast bit of advice I would hand out when it comes to choosing how you're going to paint your miniatures. Otherwise, I hope you find my videos useful. Of course I do. You know, or at the very least entertaining, or intriguing. Any other adjectives? Heyo, chat. Managed to catch some part of the stream before it ended. Partial success. What are we working on now? We are building horses. Because we're going to do a video about how to paint horses. Endless horses for everyone. Can I get a shot of the progress we've gotten so far? Yeah, sure. So we have built 1 and 2 horses and collated these 10, basically. And I found the other 7 that I had to hand. And I know that there's 3, 4, 5 in a box next to me as well. So we're trying to get to 20 horses. And once we've got to 20 horses, we'll see if we've got time to put together or at least clean up some riders. Because then we know we're good to go. Because I have again, so for the MESBG fans in the room, I do have an 800-point ride out list, which does consist of 4 more of these. And the other 4 painted of these. It's 9 Rohan Royal Guard, 8 Riders of Rohan, Theoden, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gamling. With the Royal Standard. It's a pretty simple list. What's a standard point size game of MESBG? Between 500 to 800 points. Yeah, that's Filippo says. Between 500 and 800 points. Though you can frequently find events that do stuff at 400 as well. And it's very rare, but you may occasionally find somewhere that does stuff at 1,000. But yeah, you don't have to worry about sort of 2,000 point armies or anything for Lord of the Rings. As Rich was explaining earlier, he was using Thorin's Company at the weekend, which is 12 models. So it doesn't have to be a significant investment if you just want to have fun and explore it. You can. Can you do a 420 points army? Yeah, if you wanted to. Of course, if you were going to a 500 point event, you would be putting yourself at a massive disadvantage. And if you were going to a 400 point event, you'd be cheating. But that would be your choice. Fun fact, the first product I ever bought from GW was the original release of the 2 Tower set. That came with a ton of Uruk-hai and Rohan stuff. It was an excellent box. It was an excellent box. I had that box as well. I loved that box. To be fair, I've got my old I've got my old Warhammer in this house. Problem is, so much of it is just packed tightly away behind other boxes. I can't access it, so I have no idea what's going on in those boxes. I have some memory of what I have, but not an accurate one. There is a record, though, in this flat of basically my entire Warhammer journey. All 29 years of it. Main reason I don't have a Rohan army is because I hate painting horses. Well, hopefully this video, when we get it done, Strummingfish, we'll solve that for you. Because you'll be like, wow, those were really easy. I'm going to do that. And also, those ones are way too complicated. Why would I waste my time on just the troops? That's the two reactions I'm aiming for from this video. Horse number 3 is being glued in as we speak. Exciting times. We did it! Wow! Okay. I'm holding you to the not line highlighted on some of those schemes. Yeah, we're going to try. That is the goal. I really need to release my... I need to edit and release my How to Paint Deathwing Knights, my Battle Ready Deathwing Terminators video, because I feel like that's a format that I want, you know, you guys to be familiar with. Because my plan is that with some things is to do a battle ready version, fully based and everything, and then do the highlights and do it as like a 1-parter and a 2-parter, so that you get to see it at both stages. Up to 11 horses. I've had it up to here with you horses. I've had it up to 11. The slight challenge with this video is going to be that if all the horses are done, when we then come to do Rohan Royal Knights, we're going to have to reference back to it. That might be slightly awkward, but I'll get over it. Maybe the key with it is just to do all the horses and do all the riders. 1, 2, 3 parts. Just have them ready to go as like a 2-part video, as it were. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. That's for me to figure out. That's not for you guys to sit and listen to me rabbiting on. Not you. You. Not you, non-bread. See you later, tattooed zoologist. Thanks for stopping by. Save the clips from the horse video and just reuse them in the rider videos. Nah, because then we just make the rider video way too long. And also, people will then accuse me of doing them in sub-assemblies, which technically I am, but for a point. There's a reason behind it. No, don't want you. You can get out of here. Sub-assembly is a crime. No, it's not. A mighty bush quote in this economy? Is that what I just... Oh, yes, I did. I did. That just slipped out of me. Hello, Awful Willies. How are you doing, buddy? It's like how many things in my life I currently refer to as being rom-pom-pa-pom. And yet, this is the first time I'm letting you guys know about that. Ooh. That's a mighty bit of extra metal. I think my favourite... Oh, hi, Emma says... At Warhipster, I think my favourite part of your videos is honestly how you always paint it up to a battle-ready state, then say it very clearly, delineating between that and moving on to the highlights. That's the plan. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like that. I like to provide a clear stopping point for people if they would want to stop, as it were. Because sometimes, and I know this with my videos, sometimes the paint list is rather long. And it's pretty much 99% of the time it's because the plus part is what bumps it. You know, so you can paint something with, for example, you can paint like the Raven Guard guy, right? Ethon Shan. You can paint his armor with Black Legion and shade it with Nuln Oil. Good to go. But then you double the amount of paint used on that by using a Dawnstone followed by Administratum Grey. And while it is the main colour, it is what it is. The one downside to the new Rohan Plastic Warriors is the jump in complexity of building the models compared to the rest of the old stuff, so people who are getting into the game using old armies might have a difficulty spike they aren't expecting, like if they started with Riders of Rohan and then bought the War of the Rohirrim box. Yet you are absolutely spot on It does. That is the problem with the Rohirrim as it stands at the moment, is that the range is now wildly inconsistent with everyone else. It's the same for the Dunlendings, because the models are just that bit more complicated to build. And if you start somewhere else other than with the Battle for War of the Rohirrim box, Battle for Edoras box, you might be suddenly taken aback by how, this is a significant jump up. And that the other part of it as well is that, at least from my perspective, is that you get 24 of them. So you get 24 models in a box, and yet each one is like 6 to 8 components, something like that. Some are a bit more. So it does mean that the building process is significantly longer for Warriors of Rohan and for the Hill tribesmen, which to my mind is a bit of a problem. I suspect if the old world goes the same way, and that I think is some of the issue with some of the stuff in Cathay, is that some of the stuff in Cathay is very intensive to build, and you're going to need lots of it. Whereas when you compare that to, say, Empire handgunners, or Tomb King's skeleton warriors, which theoretically you should have a lot of in your army. Tomb King skeleton warriors are a whole different kind of type of difficulty to build, just because they're terrible old models that don't really want to stick together very much. But if you're going to build sort of 30 to 40 of them for a single line troop, it is a lot to undertake if you suddenly have to do sort of 10 to 12 components per model, as opposed to 4. Or in the case of MESBG with the Warriors of Rohan, 1. Possibly 2 with a shield. But these are all considerations to be to bear in mind, It's like the jump in complexity between 40k and Horus Heresy. If you released something like a Saturnine Terminator in 40k, it wouldn't be 50 components, that's for sure. It just wouldn't be. It'd be significantly simpler to put together. But they have released it in Horus Heresy. And as a consequence, they've released it in Horus Heresy with 3 million components to build just one. Which, is what it is. The question is what are you using? What is Horus Heresy? What is the old world? What is Middle Earth? Are these games that you're hoping people use to become invested in Warhammer, or are these games for people who are at the end of the hobby funnel, much further down? So they're people who already know how to build models, who expect how to build, should be expected to know how to build models, as it were. I would argue that you shouldn't just assume expertise at any level, would be what I would say, and that every kit should be held to the same standard of buildability and accessibility for hobbyists of all ages. Would be what I would say. But it's an interesting debate, I think. Because if you want to sell... If you're Games Workshop and you want to sell a ton of Horus Heresy kits, you need to make the models more accessible for people who are fat-thumbed like me. Because I look at some of those. I mean, I looked at the Saturnine build instructions, of course, because I built the Arachne Quad accelerator platform, and that in and of itself was a lot of components, which was surprising, given as you have the quad accelerator platform in like 100+ pieces or whatever it was. I don't think it was actually as much as that, but you have that model in as many pieces as it was, and in the same company they're also producing the Firestrike auto cannon turret for 40k Space Marines, which is a push fit kit. So it's like, okay, I feel like the Arachne Quad probably could have been a push fit kit. It's not a particularly difficult or exciting model, and yet there are a lot of components to building that. So the same thing with the Saturnine Terminator is I don't want to, me personally on my hobby, don't want to spend 2 to 3 days building 6 guys. I want to build 6 guys in about 2.5 to 3 hours at worst, depending on how bad they are to put together. And it just means that when you have that many components, the actual sprues run into more and more issues in terms of how things are connected up, which then means if you're not confident at the cleanup part, it means that bit becomes really, really difficult. So it's where you end up with stuff like shoulder pads in 2 halves. And you're like, why? Why are the shoulder pads in 2 halves? They don't need to be in 2 halves, because I've seen you print a lot of molecular, studded shoulder pads that are not in 2 halves. So why are these ones in 2 halves? And it means you have to either be perfect at lining those up or really good at green stuffing skills to make sure that there's no gaps, if that's something that you care about, which it just so happens that I personally don't. I don't have time in my schedule or my life to care about such a thing. PM Humphreys, thank you very much for the $1.99 super chat. That is very kind of you. If you meant to send a message, it didn't send. So do type it below, and I will pay attention, and I shall read it. It's like, if you guys watch my sprue reviews, one of the things I always check for is whether there's a connection point on the cutting edge of a blade. The reason being is that a cutting edge of a blade is a very fine piece of weaponry, and it's often quite a focal point of a miniature, particularly in something like 40k. And when you have a connection point on the cutting edge of the blade, if you have it on more than one of them, more than one sword in a box, you run a much higher risk of accidentally taking a chunk out of that sword. So rather than it being 2 straight lines, it becomes something that has 1 straight line and just a little bit dip in it. And it's not a natural dip because you smoothed it off. It's not like it's a sculpted in like nick or something like that. It's because you shaved too much off in that one specific area. So then you might run into the set where you're trying to even it out, and you'll never get it even at that point, because you'll then have to scuff the other side. See what I mean? And that's why, like, as soon as I see a connection point on the cutting edge of a blade, I'm like, nope, you lose a point immediately, because I know how capable they are of not doing that. Again, it's just all about, like, accessibility of the build. For me it is, anyway. Go for it. Gap filling with green stuff is awful. I never seem to get it quite right, so the gap is filled, but it's still obvious. Yeah, I'm the same. Some strumming fish is why I don't do it. When I inevitably chop into the sword when cleaning the sprue up, I just tell myself the blade got chipped in battle. Yeah, that's fair, Dandy Deadpool. That is an absolute. That is the right attitude to have for it. But that's why I will always criticize it, because you shouldn't have to do that, because they didn't see wisdom in having it so that those they didn't see any wisdom in removing those connection points on the cutting edges of blades. It's the same thing with helmets that have a connection point slapped up on the top of the helmet. It's another thing we look for. Welcome to Warhipster Describes His Own Videos. It's because when it's on the when it's on the top of a helmet and you're looking down at the model, and you're just going to see a little scuff mark where you tried to smooth it out. Do you see what I mean? I highly suggest watching Zorp. He makes the best terrain in the business, in my opinion, for 40k, 30k, and MESBG. I would like Lucky to build me a Helm's Deep, but I don't have a lot of money or space. I have a winged Nazgul, and it's a shame those gaps are so visible. Oh, don't tell me that. I've got one to build and paint. No! We built another horse. We are up to 17 of the finest horses. We've also constructed another Rohan Royal Guard, and I was about to put him on this horse, and that's insane, because this horse has only just been built. That would be a silly thing to do. I've just finished my first infractor using your Emperor's Children paint scheme. It looks nothing like yours, but we strive for perfection. Thanks for the help and with my painting of my army. I bet it looks more like mine than you think it does, Chris. Well done. Whoa. I don't suppose you know the size of an MESBG Snow Troll versus a 40k Box Dread. As in the new one? Is it Shank and Rot? I have that model, I just don't know where it is. I haven't built it. Well, the Snow Troll comes on a 50mm round base, and I'm pretty certain the old Dreadnoughts come on a... they come on a 60mm, don't they? So I would probably guess that the Boxnaut is bigger. I would guess. Do you know what I do have? It's completely unrelated. But this one might be about the right size for a Redemptor Dreadnought. This is the new one. This is the Gundabad Troll with Catapult on its back. This is massive. I mean, he's proper stooped forward like that. But it's very big. Do I know what the theme for October's Tale of Many Warhipsters will be? Yeah, this month's theme is Earth, Wind, and Fire. September. And the stream in October, unless you're talking about October's theme, in which case, no, I've no idea. We're not. That shows a level of forward planning that we are not capable of around here. You can blame neuro spiciness. Okay, so we have the 6. Do I just build... I think what I might just do is, rather than gauging the 6, do the other 3 of this. Trying to make a Murder Fang stand in. Ooh. You know what? I know a lot. I've met quite a few converters and builders in my time. And whatever you do, I know it will be fantastic. Yeah, we'll put the 6 to one side. We have 3. First up is Sons of Bahamut Frost Giant to go as a knight ally to Space Wolves. Do you know what will also work very nice with the Sons of Bahamut? If you haven't already started, these are about the same size. And there's a lot of pieces on here that for a converter of your caliber would be able to mix very nicely. But you've probably already done that, so I don't know why I'm giving you ideas. Show off the sunbathing lizards. No, they're in pieces. In the same tray as the troll. I'm not digging through them to find the pieces. The war jakes of run. Do you remember how many pieces they are? No. Not in the foggiest. Definitely more than one. And less than 20. Per Drake. Might be 20 pieces in the box, I can't remember. But they are not built. And I don't know where their bit of paper is. Not that their bit of paper has any instructions. Of course it doesn't. If I can't remember. I don't think it did. I can't remember though if the Werewolves of Angmar had instructions. It must have done. Or at least a parts list. Someone asked if you had any ideas for a 100k subscriber special, Josh. I think a recorded bat rep in whatever system would be fun if you wanted to do that, or maybe just a Q&A hangout stream. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm open to ideas for a 100,000. You've probably got 6 months to come up with it. We are off pace to do it in 2025, unfortunately. Because there's September, October, November, December left. So 4 months. We would need to hit 2,500 subscribers per month. And we are not anywhere near that. Especially if I keep mucking about with all this MESBG. Quick, deploy the emergency space marines! I painted one of every legion again. He's painting Smaug in a single sitting for 100k. Live on stream for 3 days. Is that what I'm doing, is it? Oh, yeah, we're good. Completely misread the clock then. I thought it said 23:33. I was like, this has not been a productive stream. And we are massively overrun by time. Do you own a Smaug? I do. I do indeed. One was smuggled into my house by worst painter here. But there is a Smaug on the premises. It is not built. It is not cleaned. It is in no condition to do anything with. But we'll see 100,000 subscribers coming from a long way off, I suspect. Anyway, I would love to do it this year. I'd love 2025 to be the year that we did it. So tell your friends. Get everyone to come and subscribe to the channel. And watch the videos. Tell everyone you meet who cares about Warhammer. Not just everyone you meet. That'd be weird. I could like a large Big Mac meal, and also could you subscribe to youtube.com/Warhipster? Thank you very much. There'll be a great deal of crying, I'm sure, when we finally get there. It's been a long time. You know, I've been making videos for 6 years now. No such thing as overnight success in the Warhipster household. No, sir. We do things the long way round. Although, we could deploy the emergency. Why does GW hate insert faction here? Deploy one of those. One of the, I mean, I've talked about it before, but one of the main reasons why I won't do that type of video is these live streams would be very different vibe. If that's the type of content we were making. And I feel like you guys appreciate the lo-fi vibes. My gentle voice talking about horses. I do sometimes think about making the voiceover a little less enthusiastic at times. Just making it very... Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here. Coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial. Today, I'm going to be painting a happy little horse. But then I feel like those videos won't be as appreciated. Well done, chap. 58 likes on the stream. Very good stuff. $60 likes on the stream. We're now 9 away. 9 away. What is your microphone setup, by the way? It's very clean audio. Oh, thank you very much. It is. I have a little Focusrite 2i2, Scarlett 2i2. That's it's a little audio interface. And this is... I do know the name. It is a Rode NT1A, I think. Well, it's a Rode NT1. These are my favourite microphones. When I was at university, we used to use these all the time. It's just a lovely condenser. I do feel like at times I should replace this with a Shure SM5B, which is what pretty much everybody uses. But I just love this. I've always loved this microphone. I've got another one, and you can't really see it, but there's another one here, which is used for my any audio I record over there when I'm editing. This is why GW hates Grey Knights, because they hate you specifically and the army you like. Yeah, exactly. Perfectly reasonable response to anything. Very good. How many horses we have left to finish? We are currently building horse number 19. No, not 19. I have fully lied to you there. Horse number 14. So there are 6 more after this one. But definitely one more tonight. So we'll get to 15. For sure. I was just gifted a membership, so whoever gifted, thank you so much. That's very generous and really appreciated. You probably have Mr. Worst Painted here to thank for that. This is a very generous person who gifted 100 memberships today. Blame me. Fair enough. It's my fault. One more horse down. We do have 3 Rohan Royal Guard to go on there as well. What's your favourite beverage / snack while hobbying? Well, I drink my favourite is Coca-Cola Zero. But my favourite snack, I would say, is probably between jelly tots and fruit pastels, because I am a child. These horse brews are 23 years old. That's fun, isn't it? That's a fun fact. Pow! That's so weird. For a bit there I could only see my post in chat, not anyone else's, then chat flickered and came back and now I can't see anything again. But the stream didn't buffer. That is strange. Perhaps your perhaps your YouTube channel, your YouTube interface was like, just for a moment, oh hi Emma, we're going to make you the main character. So if anything, you should feel good about that. Jelly babies for the win. Jelly babies are an elite sweet snack. They are. However, when you are building, the powdered sugar isn't great. So they're great for painting. They're not great for building. But jelly babies are elite. Oh, I do very much like as well. I don't know if anybody else has tried them, but Curly Whirly Squirlies. Curly Whirly Squirlies are very good. They are basically a bag of bits of Curly Whirly. You know, like the Cadbury's, like the buttons and stuff, or bits of fudge and stuff like that. But the Curly Whirly Squirlies, that's top tier. Do love a squirrely. I mean, my favourite sweet of all time is a yellow-bellied snake. But it has to be the big, thick ones that you get from the cinema. That's my favoritist sweet of all time. I love them very much. I will immediately judge any confectionery stand at a cinema that does not have them in the pick and mix section. And sometimes you'll go over there and they'll be like, yellow-bellied snakes. And you go, okay, let's have a look at these. And they're the really thin ones. And I'm like, no, that is not a yellow-bellied snake. That's a yellow-bellied waste of time. Some of you may have clocked it. Talking of cinema, what was the last film you went to go and see? What was the last film we went to go and see? Superman. We went to go and see Superman. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good rendition of Superman. Before that, it was War of the Rohirrim. And before that, it was Across the Spider-Verse. We used to go, I mean, I used to, and Alice and I used to as well, but I used to go to cinema a lot. Because I really enjoyed it. I loved it. But then, you know, it comes out on streaming very early these days now, and I struggle to see a justification for spending the amount of money it takes to go to the theatre on what is undoubtedly going to be a risk. So it's like, you know, any of the new any of the new Marvel films, for example. It's like they're not always been, they haven't been consistently a banger for a long old time now. So it's like, well, I don't really want to go and see insert name of film here, in case it costs us £20 and we don't have fun, you know, when in about a month and a half's time it will be on Disney Plus, which we already pay for. Just gonna point out, if you get a bunch of yellow-bellied snakes, that is not my fault. Kind of sounds like it is your fault, though, by saying that, you know. We have built horse number 15. Where did we start? We had 5, 6, 7, 8. We built 7 horses. 7 horses. That's not bad. Here is my wall of horses. That's alright, isn't it? That's not bad. Because we also built a Rohan Royal Knight as well. Sneaky. Snuck that in. Not sure how much longer you'll be on, so I'll ask now. What is your favourite Legion in new MESBG books? I assume one of the Rohan ones, but which? I'm guessing it's Ride Out as his favourite. Yeah, Ride Out's probably my favourite. I mean, I really like Riders of Eomer, and I really like Riders of Theoden. Riders of Theoden was what I always intended to build before this edition of MESBG came along. It was what I was sort of gearing my collection towards doing, was doing Riders of Theoden. That said, there is Grief of Eomer, and there's Defenders of the Pelennor. That's the other one, isn't it? I think it's Grief of Eomer that lets you have Imrahil, Eomer, not Gandalf, but you can have Minas Tirith Knights of Dol Amroth, and Riders of Rohan in the list, which is, I think, it's really cool. And I've got 6 Knights of Dol Amroth. They're over there. Obviously, I have 6. Yeah, 6 Riders of Rohan in there, 6 here, 6 in the box down there, and 9 Rohan Royal Knights. Which feels like a good collection. I like it. I like it a lot. So we need to build one more Rohan Royal Guard with a spear, and 2 more with swords. You can get Gandalf in Defenders. Okay. can just do that then. Gandalf. Should we put him right in the middle? Gandalf. Ah, it was Huron. Yes, Huron. Yes, who I do have. Yeah, so my intention was Huron, 6 Knights of Minas Tirith, Éomer, 6 Riders of Rohan, Imrahil, 6 Knights of Dol Amroth. Go from there. I mean, that's probably too many points, but you know, I feel like that would be sick. Did you like my grief list? Éomer, Huron, Imrahil, 8 Riders of Rohan, 9 Knights of Minas Tirith, 7 Knights of Dol Amroth. Nice. Nice. Yeah. I wonder what's the next AOS Contrast Plus. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. There will be more, though. Plenty more. I have many AOS models to paint. Many, many. I'm pretty pleased with our horse building efforts. Spare throwing spears? Wow, I shouldn't have. You can go in the recycling. And you can go into the other box. Just condense things a little bit. How is G-Money? Saw him for a moment. G-Money hasn't advanced since last week because I still haven't decided whether I'm going to highlight the white. I haven't had space in my brain to figure that out. I mean, I thought about doing it tonight, but then I was like, no, I still don't have space in my brain to do it because I've got a lot of other stuff going on at the moment. So he's still in exactly the same position that he was. Which is thus. I mean, he's looking really good already. It's just I haven't decided if I'm going to highlight his white robes and stuff yet. But that's where he's at. But yeah, I mean, we have all of this Rohan. We do actually also have, literally sat on the desk, 4 Riders of Theoden. We have Éowyn. Which I would like to do soon. And of course, on Monday we built Gamling with the Royal Standard. So he goes in. We have Legolas on horse for ride out. We have Aragorn on horse for ride out. Theoden's in the cupboard. There's 6 Riders of Rohan in here. And Éomer and Theoden. They're in here. There's also 12 old Warriors of Rohan in there. Then there's 24 new Warriors of Rohan round the corner. With Prince Haleth and Hammer. And Hera, Daughter of Helm. We just need Freyalaf and Helm Hammerhand on horse. The new version. We have Elfhelm. There's talk on the internet of there being, well, I mean, it's not talk on the internet. It's in the book. There's Theodred is also a thing, isn't he? I don't know if they've actually previewed that he exists. Like, I can't remember seeing an article on him. But he's in the book. You can see him in the book. Because you did this, I hope GW will crush your motivation tomorrow by announcing new plastic riders and Royal Guard. Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? That would be nice. That would be very kind of them. Josh has done it now. He's building them. Time to announce. I was just like, God damn it. Because I have 12 Warriors of Rohan that will never get better painted. The old ones. Because why would I? Is it 12 or do I have more than that? I think I actually have more than that. But I can't remember. That's a pretty decent chunk, isn't it? Pretty decent chunk of Rohirrim. It'll look glorious when it's all painted. I swear it. I swear it by the Valar. Baby Theo is still just an unconfirmed image. Well, it's in the book, wasn't it? You can see him. He's off focus, but he's in one of the books. I can't remember which one, but he's in there. Because Rich texted me about it months ago, saying, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "No." Oh wow. But yeah, no, they haven't. Yeah, clearly they haven't. Joe Cole's Mikey Appreciation Club. He's yeah. Well, we are literally coming to the end. We are literally coming to the end of the stream because I've built all the horses I can muster. Less than half of what I'd hoped. For now, we will do the other 3 royal knights to go on them, and then we'll build a few more horses at some point in the future. I might not use another stream to do that. I might do those offline, as it were, in my own personal time. What little of that I get. It's on the Fords of Eisen page. There you go. Thanks, so hi Emma. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight whilst I built some horses. I hope you're excited for Contrast, the Ultimate Contrast Plus How to Paint Horses guide. I'm excited to paint it, honestly. It's going to be really fun. There's going to be so many horses. I'll buy you more horses so you have what you hoped. No, I was quoting. We should have our own chat after Josh leaves. Well, it just so happens that you do. It is on the Discord server, the Warhipster Discord, which you can be a member of if you can get access to if you are either a member here on YouTube or you become a Patreon subscriber, one of the two, and that gets you in. But either way, we are going to wrap things up there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. You guys are legends. And I hope you had fun. Tomorrow, you will be able to see Contrast Plus How to Paint Darnath Lysander. The new one, if you haven't already seen him on the channel. I did show him off on Monday, but I'll show him off again. Here he is. This video is coming to you tomorrow. Darnath Lysander. I'm a particular fan of how that cloak's come out. I think it looks really, really good. But there we go. That's on the way for you tomorrow. And then, yeah. We should be live again on Sunday with A Tale of Many Warhipsters. So I shall speak to you all on Sunday if I don't speak to you before then. So, have a really good rest of your week. Here is the hand of farewell. I shall wave it at you. You beautiful, beautiful people. See you later. Bye.